Hey! Yo, everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing Nightwing, issue number 1. Take a look at this comic cover right here. Now, before we actually get into the issue itself, let's take some time to talk a bit about Dick Grayson as Batman before we actually get into him as Nightwing. Now, in my own personal opinion, Dick Grayson's run on Batman was very natural. If anyone was going to fill the shoes of Bruce Wayne as Batman to take up the mantle, it was Dick Grayson. And it was done really well. Some of the writers did a good job as writing him as Batman, and for some time we could actually say Dick Grayson was the Dark Knight. Even though he was holding the position for Bruce, kind of filling in, we could actually look at Dick Grayson and say, he's Batman. When I talked to my friends, I said, oh, did you see Batman? Did you see Dick Grayson do this? I referred to Dick as Batman. It felt natural, it was well done, and Dick's run as Batman shows that he's a great character. With that said, I always preferred Dick Grayson more as Nightwing than his run as Batman. Let me tell you why. Dick Grayson as Batman, no matter how natural it was, no matter how well it was pulled off, he's not Batman. Bruce Wayne is Batman. Dick Grayson has been and always will be, to me, Nightwing. I mean, he's been Robin too, but Nightwing. That's the persona he made his own. It's the persona he's created. And you know what? Where there's been multiple Flashes, multiple Supermans, multiple Batmans, multiple Wonder Womans, multiple Green Lanterns, multiple Aquamans, there's really only been one official, true Nightwing. I mean, there's been some imposters here and there, but there's only really been one Nightwing, and that's been Dick Grayson. It's his persona. It's the persona that he feels most comfortable in. And I am happy he is back as Nightwing. And this is a comic that I'm really looking forward to reading because Nightwing's original series, which started off with Chuck Dixon, was one of my favorite comic book series. It introduced Nightwing's city of Bloodhaven, interesting new villains such as Nite, Nightwing, or Torque, or Blockbuster. There were a lot of interesting things about that comic, and it was so well told. And I love Nightwing. Dick Grayson is one of my favorite comic book characters. He's the comic book character that I relate myself the most to. When I think if I was ever a comic book character, it'd be Dick Grayson. I love him. So the question is this. After his momentous run on Batman in Detective Comics and Batman and Robin and Justice League, being the Dark Knight himself, can Dick Grayson return to being Nightwing? Will that be a step down for the character? Or will it be a step back up? Well, you're just going to have to wait and see. The story starts off with Nightwing going around and talking about how he was Batman and how he was Batman for a year. So apparently Nightwing was Batman for a year. And how as much as he was Batman and as how well he did Batman, he's happy to be Nightwing again. It's where he belongs. And Dick Grayson says that right up front. I am Nightwing. Bruce is Batman. I am Nightwing. And as he's doing this, he's taking down some thugs, beating them up, and doing things perfectly. He's commenting that his time as Batman strengthened him. It made him better. It made him smarter. It made him courageous. It made him fear nothing. It made him so spot on that there's nothing that he can't handle. And he does some daring ass stuff, and it is cool. Anyways, after he beats up a few thugs, we get introduced to a possible villain. Now, this guy shows up off this bus and walks around in Gotham, and he starts getting picked on by some thugs, and he kills them, because that's what bad guys do, and he kind of walks off. Now, this individual is not given a name yet, but he's kind of an assassin, and the reason why he's in Gotham, to assassinate Dick Grayson. Why? Because apparently Dick Grayson is a murdering bastard. And Dick didn't even know it. Yes, well, there's some kind of lies, and it has to be lies. That's the only way around it. This assassin is told to kill Dick Grayson because he's a murderer. Anyways, while this is going on, and this assassin is trying to kill him, and Dick Grayson is fighting him. At the same time, Haley's Circus is back in Gotham. And Haley's Circus is Dick Grayson's old circus that he used to be part of before his family died and Bruce adopted him and he became Robin, Nightwing, Batman, and back to Nightwing. And it's kind of a second home to him. And although he's revisited it multiple times, he hasn't revisited it in Gotham. So he's a little nervous and on edge on whether or not he should return. So the question is this. Going back to Haley's Circus, is it a good idea? And will this assassin get the upper hand on Dick Grayson? Well, you're just going to have to read and see. Let's get into the good, the bad, and whether or not you should get it. Good. Well, this is Dick Grayson where he feels most comfortable, and this is where I feel most comfortable with him. It feels like the character can spread his wings and be him again. You know, there was a few people that did Dick Grayson well as Batman. Scott Snyder did him well as Batman. Tony Daniel did him well as Batman. Grant Morrison did an okay job with him as Batman. But see, the thing is that Dick Grayson, as much as you can portray him as Dick Grayson as Batman, he just flourishes a lot more when he's Nightwing. And we get this. The acrobaticness of his style, the way he fights, the action scenes are great in this. The dialogue is great in this, and Nightwing has evolved. It's not like he's taking a step back. It's not like he's going back to being what he was as Nightwing before. He's a completely new Nightwing. Has many of the qualities as he was Nightwing beforehand, but also the qualities he's picked up as Batman. I love the characterization of Dick in this. It's well done. Let's take a moment and talk about the costume. I'm going to put this in the good section. Dick Grayson's costume, for the most part, is one of the most least changed costumes in the DC universe. The only really big change is more armor pieces on the neck, gloves, feet, and then obviously the red. At first, I didn't like the red, even though red's my favorite color. However, I found out it's only because I was so used to the blue. The red actually works well for Dick. It kind of is a throwback to the red he wore when he was Robin. At least I thought so. Anyways, I like the costume. It looks good. And don't worry, he doesn't have the red eyes all the way through. That's only for night vision. Again, he picked up some tricks as Batman. And in one of the fights, he throws his baton, his screamer stick, up in the lights, takes out the lights, and turns on his night vision. Something Batman would do. So, great characterization, great action. The story was okay. Not the best story I could have gotten, but it's still good. It starts off nice and it ends nice with a good cliffhanger. The Haley Circus aspect I haven't quite bought onto yet, but the assassin stuff I do like. Bad. I can't really think of any bad about this at all. There is some points where there's a lot of talking, where I would want to see more action, but I mean, that's really about it. On a whole, this issue was great. Really fun, really enjoyable. If you were concerned about Dick Grayson becoming Nightwing again, don't. This was great. I loved it. I recommend picking this up. It is a good issue. So with that said, I'm going to end this review here. Nightwing, definitely a must pick up. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.